Welcome to Synaptic's Sona guide for patch 14.8. This guide will go over two builds that I like to use and have used even outside of 14.8. First up is Lichbane AP Sona. This build will likely get you flamed, but is viable and the on-hit burst makes it fun to play. Sona runes are pretty standard, starting with Airy, followed by Mana Flow Band, Absolute Focus, and Gathering Storm. The difference here from the support runes are your points in precision, having a point in Presence of Mind for the mana sustain, and Coup de Grace to do that extra Q auto burst when they're low. Finally, we will have points in Adaptive Force for that extra punch in Q, and a point in health scaling. The build for Lichbane AP Sona will be Lichbane into Luden's Companion and Rylai's Crystal Scepter. To be honest, you should be winning or losing by the time you hit Rylai's. If you find yourself in a very late game, additional AP health items like Leandri's Torment is helpful to boost your Q damage and give you more survivability. Alternatively, you can go Seraph's Embrace first if you find that you need survivability against high burst enemies. On your first back, the ideal buy is Boots Sheen. However, depending on the first couple of levels, you may find yourself only able to buy Boots Glowing Mode, which is fine. Save the rest of that gold for your Sheen on your next back. Sheen synergizes well with Sona's Q plus Empowered Auto, allowing you to pack more of a punch when poking in lane. This also tends to be unexpected burst in all-in fights. This build utilizes Boots' Swiftness to allow for weaving in and out of fights to apply Q enhanced auto burst. Support harder and burst your enemies down. Next up is Seraph's Rush Support Sona. This is the more typical and expected build for Sona supports. Again, Sona's runes are pretty standard, starting with Airy, followed by Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, and Gathering Storm. The reason for Transcendence over Absolute Focus here is we're not looking to damage with this build, rather we're looking to cast heal more often. That being said, we're also looking for stronger heals and scaling. This build will go Resolve instead of Precision with a point in Conditioning and a point in Revitalize. Again, we'll have points in Adaptive Force and a point in Health scaling. The build for Seraph's Rush Support Sona is Seraph's Embrace into Moonstone Renewer. Next, I like to go Staff of Flowing Water, followed by Ardent Sensor. This build is for survivability of you and your allies, increasing your healing power and buffs granted by your W. Again, Seraph's is for your own survivability. On your first back, the ideal buy here is Boots Tier. Again, depending on your first back, you may only be able to buy one item first. Go with Tier first so you can start stacking right away. Remember, this build is less about being aggressive with poke, so conserve your mana for heals and sustain in lane. This build utilizes Boots of Lucidity to reduce cooldown times for your W. More heals, more shields, more buffs. I just realized I forgot about the support item, and I'm too lazy to rearrange the whole video. So for AP Sona, go Zazak's Realm Spike for extra damage, and for support Sona, go Dreammaker for more buffs on your W. Hope you guys find this guide useful, and good luck out there on the Rift.